Hello there. Welcome to Effective Mind Control. Think of this. You can identify one of the millions of images you have seen in just half a second. Could you have done that if such images were not stored in your memory? Could you have spotted them, without recognizing them? Where are such images stored? How are they recognized? Science lacks even a hypothesis about this mystery. But for science, combinatorial memories can be infinite. Elimination algorithms identify patterns in such memories in milliseconds. For Abraham Thomas, an engineer, intuition is such pattern recognition. Every act of the human mind results from pattern recognition. Human creativity depends on it. Human genius derives from it. Consciousness is powered by it. Fear and anger are unleashed by it. Without intuitive pattern recognition, there would be no civilization. Only stones and ice would exist today. Is intuitive pattern recognition meaningless? While science is still searching for the location of human memory, a Nobel Prize confirmed the existence of virtually infinite combinatorial memories in the olfactory system alone. For Abraham Thomas, the brain has virtually infinite memories for patterns. It stores memories of millions of years of evolutionary history, a lifetime of images, events, muscle movements and behavioral responses. Intuition instantly and logically isolates microscopic features in such patterns. Behavior pattern recognition names millions of event sequences. It understands verbs. Current artificial intelligence systems utilize neural networks to achieve behavior pattern recognition. Israeli security systems evaluate a series of events to reach a conclusion. Their airport screening supervisors have a score sheet with a list of behaviors on it. Are they merely loitering in the area? Are they wearing a warm coat on a hot day? Are they sweating or nervous when they come to the airport security checkpoint? Do they make hand signals to colleagues? When a list of specified behaviors hit a certain number, the system recognizes a potential threat. Similar behavior pattern recognition is applied in the financial world. A sequence of activities become a recognized pattern, with a single name, fraud. In 2004, a Nobel Prize acknowledged the discovery that the mind uses a combinatorial coding process in the neural matrix to recognize patterns. The researchers used calcium imaging to identify individual mouse receptor neurons, which fired on recognition of specific odors. When the neurons were exposed to a range of smells, they found that a single receptor could identify several odors. At the same time, each odor was identified by several receptors. Different combinations of receptors fired within the olfactory matrix. Recognition of those combinations enabled the mind to individually identify different odorant molecules. A similar matrix of chemoreceptors in the tongue identify molecules which carry information on taste. Other matrices of receptors are massed together to form sensory subsystems such as eyes and ears. People are reported to be able to remember and recognize any one of 10,000 images displayed to them at 1-second intervals. Each image is a matrix of millions of pixels. The human mind deals comfortably with sequences of millions of such matrices. The mind has the ability to remember and recognize images in huge sequences of massive matrices. At the highest level, the brain recognizes and names behaviors in language and literature. Beginning from a set of primitive words, language expresses the vast knowledge of humanity in myriad combinations of words and sentences. In sentences, words need to be separated for understanding. There are sentences, paragraphs, chapters and books. The mind recognizes these symbols in time dimension packets. Each sentence has an acceptable length and every sentence closes with a period. Those symbols represent ever longer sequences of pattern recognition steps. Dogs can quickly sniff a sequence of footprints of a person and determine accurately which way the person is walking. The animal's nose can detect the relative odor strength difference between footprints only a few feet apart, to determine the direction of a trail. The sympathetic association region of the brain enables you to recognize a pair of scissors, with your eyes closed. If this region is damaged, you will be able to feel the scissors, but you will not be able to identify it. This recognition process is also dynamic. An instant touch cannot identify a pair of scissors. You have to run your fingers over it. A sequence of touches recognizes a single object. This ability to identify the unique qualities of matrices over time enables behavior pattern recognition. That process can identify events the way a movie subtitle identifies a sequence of film images. If a recording iterates the subtitle across the length of an activity, then any individual frame of the movie will identify the action through the subtitle. The brain has many iterating matrices. In such matrices, an iterating pattern can recognize a sequential activity. The mind learns by paying attention. The system registers the SIT matrix against every frame of a sensory movie of a person sitting down. Subsequent recall of any frame of the movie would link to the SIT matrix. Like a strip of movie film, where the title is repeated, while the images change. Later, any frame of the movie can recall the related title. It symbolizes the act and enables recognition. The human mind records and recognizes events against millions of sensory contexts. Specific association regions of the brain are known to recognize such events. A sentence is a semantic behavior pattern. Each unique combination of words have distinct contextual meanings. It contains data regarding objects, events and their static and dynamic relationships. It is recognized in sequential segments. Each word is separately recognized and, subsequently, the whole meaning of the sentence. Even the sequence is important. Jack killed Jacob is not the same as Jacob killed Jack. The subtleties of grammar change meaning too. Recognition of these combinatorial groups in the neural matrices occurs in finite time dimension sequential packets. The average sentence structure and length suggests a 10 to 15 seconds period for the absorption of an event by the mind. The mind also simultaneously recognizes multiple events. When you drive through traffic, you are separately aware of the movements of many objects in your field of vision. While attention focused on a single event, others are also recognized. Each event has a distinct context, history and future possibilities. Cars move in various lanes. People cross the road. Signals flash. You recognize where a pedestrian came from and where he is likely to go. Behavior pattern recognition implies a complex past, an active present and a pregnant future. A picture can represent many objects. The neural matrices of the mind can represent multiple events, just as a TV screen displays many simultaneous activities. Nature operates on a grand scale. The programming code is galactic in size and magnificent in its detailing complexity. The size and detail makes such pattern recognition possible for the human mind. The reported volume of the DNA code in your body is an indication of the sheer scale of nature. At the moment of conception, the genetic DNA information in a single fertilized human egg occupies 1,500-page books. In a grown human body, the total of those codes will fill the Grand Canyon 50 times over with 500-page manuals. Similar memories are stored by the nervous system. Current artificial intelligence systems utilize neural networks to recognize patterns. The brain uses intuitive pattern recognition in well-known recognition regions. There are systems, which define the edges, lines and movements of objects. Others recognize faces, hands and eyes. Mirror neurons recognize the emotions felt by the people who interact with you. Matrices identify the relationships of objects, such as bigger, better, or above and below. Those iterative matrices recognize Jack put the glass on the table. This proceeds to Jack came home and drank water. Further advances place an emotional interpretation of events. Jack slammed the glass on the table in disgust. Pattern recognition permits infinitely differentiated steps. Combinations of events become complex event symbols, which represent sophisticated concepts such as war, or democracy. Current inputs are combined with memories from the past. They represent rising hierarchies of understanding. Such hierarchies contain millions of images. Event recognition can explain virtually any type of human intelligence, from planning a strategy for war to comprehending the theory of relativity. Each is a hierarchy of patterns linked in unique ways. The mind can consciously dig down ever deeper into any sentence, recalling event memories, to understand the context of an expressed idea. Once this capability is assumed, thought processes appear less mysterious. Most cognitive processes revolve around the recognition of events, their recall from memory and the knowledge of their consequences. Thank you very much for watching this effective mind control video. When you view the brain as a pattern recognition machine, many ancient mysteries vanish. Do come back to this channel. See you next time.